Leah Simmons, 32, has spent her life being quietly dismissed as the family failure, the modest, thrift store-loving sister to Victoria, her image-obsessed sibling. During a tense Easter brunch, Leah endures the usual humiliation until Victoria discovers Leah's secret, a $9 million investment portfolio. The revelation detonates years of jealousy, classism, and misunderstanding, forcing Leah to finally confront her family's hypocrisy. Instead of seeking revenge, she chooses independence, leaving them behind to build a new, purpose-driven life, proving that real wealth lies not in appearances but in freedom. Leah arrives at her parents' luxurious Scottsdale home for Easter. Victoria mocks her thrifted outfit, her parents echo the same quiet disappointment. The tension is subtle but cruel. Leah's the poor sibling who never fits their image. At brunch, Leah's quiet composure contrasts Victoria's performative success. When Victoria finds Leah's investment statement, the power dynamics implode. Victoria exposes Leah's wealth to everyone at the table, turning admiration into outrage. The family demands she share her money. Leah refuses, confronting decades of belittlement. Leah walks out, leaving behind their expectations and control. Months later, Leah's built a new life, fulfilled, independent, and using her financial wisdom to help others. The best revenge, peace. Opening humiliation. Victoria's comment, "You're seriously wearing that," instantly establishes hierarchy and pain. Leah's quiet dignity, her inner monologue contrasts their shallow worldview. $9 million reveal, a cinematic, jaw-dropping twist. Family confrontation, emotional crescendo, class, pride, resentment collide. Final act of walking away, cathartic silence, the true power moment. These scenes evoke empathy, rage, and satisfaction, emotional universality that hooks viewers. They mocked me until they found out the truth, classic viral moral reversal. Family hypocrisy, relatable across cultures. Female empowerment through intelligence, resonates deeply with women 25 to 45. Moral lesson, appearances deceive, real success is quiet. High cinematic potential, tense dialogue, visual contrasts, vintage silk versus marble floors. Too expositional, much is told, not shown. Minimal visual drama, needs more sensory language and dynamic beats. One-note antagonist, Victoria is purely toxic, lacks complexity or vulnerability. Resolution told in narration, the 6 months later epilogue works in print, not film. Limited visual movement, most of the story takes place in one setting. Transform internal monologue into cinematic visuals, e.g., Leah tracing the silk sleeve nervously instead of thinking about her blouse. Add emotional subtext, Victoria's cruelty stems from insecurity. Use props as metaphors, vintage blouse equals hidden value, champagne equals hollow luxury. Add tighter pacing, more silence, less explanation. End with visual poetry, Leah walking into a Denver sunrise, not an explanatory paragraph. Core, women 25 to 45 who faced judgment, sibling comparison, or silent success. Secondary, viewers of heartfelt drama, silent revenge, emotional realism genres. Style benchmark, aesthetic like Little Women, modern tone, plus made plus Succession. The silk blouse whispered as Leah adjusted its sleeves. Sunlight filtered through her parents' massive foyer windows, bouncing off marble floors polished like mirrors. The air smelled of lilies, wealth, and judgment. Seriously, Leah? Victoria's voice sliced through the morning. You're wearing that? Leah smiled faintly. Good morning to you too. Her sister stood at the base of the grand staircase, draped in pastel silk, flawless hair cascading like she'd stepped out of a magazine spread. Their mother's laughter floated from the dining room, delicate and rehearsed. I like this blouse, Leah said, tracing the fabric, soft, cool, vintage. Vintage? Victoria scoffed. You mean used? Leah didn't reply. The silence stretched until their mother appeared, her tone sugared with pity. Sweetheart, we've talked about presentation. The Hendersons are coming. The Hendersons? Leah asked, already knowing the script. Jessica just got promoted to regional manager, Victoria chimed in, eyes glinting. 6 figures, Leah. She's younger than you. There it was, the comparison, as dependable as sunrise. Leah's pulse stayed steady. Years of practice had made it easy. Their mother smoothed invisible wrinkles on the table runner. Maybe you can borrow something from Victoria. Leah smiled, polite but unreadable. I'm comfortable, Mom. Victoria rolled her eyes. Comfortable isn't a look. The chandelier light flickered across the room, glinting off champagne flutes arranged like trophies. To them, she was still the thrift store girl who never quite fit into the family's polished frame. But beneath the calm surface, something inside Leah had started to shift, a quiet, molten awareness that this day would end differently. From the kitchen, laughter swelled, the hollow sound of people performing happiness. Leah exhaled slowly, grounding herself in the only truth she owned: appearances lied. She didn't know yet how violently that truth would soon unravel the illusion around her. By the time Jessica Henderson arrived, pearls perfect, children camera ready, Leah had already retreated into her practiced invisibility. Leah works in finance, her mother offered, tone clipped, as if defending a questionable choice. Oh. Jessica smiled. Investment, right? Leah nodded. Analysis. Mostly numbers. The conversation pivoted to Victoria's latest closing deal. Leah sipped her mimosa, the bubbles prickling her tongue, and drifted into the rhythm of family theater, the same act every year. Victoria's laugh, sharp and too loud, echoed as she gestured wildly, soaking in attention. The same people who had once overlooked her now leaned closer, drawn to the illusion of her success. Leah's mind wandered. Her life had been built in quiet increments, spreadsheets and thrift shops, dividends and delayed gratification. She could still feel the thrill of her first $500 investment turning into $800. Small wins. Steady growth. Peace. Leah, you're quiet, Jessica said suddenly. Leah smiled faintly. Listening. Her father chuckled. She's always been the silent one. Keeps her secrets. That word, secrets, landed heavier than he realized. After dessert, Leah excused herself. Her purse sat near the hallway table, half unzipped. She froze. Victoria stood there, manicured fingers rifling through it. Victoria? Her sister looked up, eyes wide, unapologetic. I was looking for gum. You always have gum. Something fluttered in Leah's chest, dread, instinct, inevitability. Then she saw it, the corner of a folded document in Victoria's hand. Her investment statement. Time slowed. Leah watched as Victoria's gaze moved down the page, her lips parting in disbelief. Is this real? She whispered. The world seemed to narrow until it was just the two of them, two sisters, one secret, and a truth too heavy to contain. Victoria's eyes flicked over the number again, her voice trembling. 9 million? Leah tried to speak, but Victoria's hand tightened around the paper, as if gripping evidence of betrayal. You've been lying, she hissed. Pretending to be poor. Leah's throat constricted. I never pretended. I just didn't explain. But Victoria wasn't listening, her mind was already building a narrative, one that made Leah the villain. Footsteps. Voices. Their parents appeared at the edge of the hall. What's going on? Victoria didn't hesitate. She stormed into the dining room, the statement clutched like a verdict. Everyone needs to see this. The laughter faded. Forks stilled. Leah's been hiding something. $9 million. The silence that followed was a living thing, sharp, suffocating, alive with disbelief. Their mother reached for the paper, hands shaking. Is this true? Yes, Leah said softly. It's mine. How? Victoria demanded. You live like this. She gestured to Leah's blouse, her modest shoes, her life. How does someone who shops at thrift stores end up with this kind of money? Leah steadied herself. By not spending it. The line hung in the air, clean and lethal. For the first time, Victoria had no words. Victoria recovered fast. She always did. You've been hoarding money while your family struggled? Struggled? Leah repeated. You drive a BMW, Vic. Mom and Dad own this house outright. That's not the point, Victoria snapped. You could have helped more. Paid off their mortgage. Supported me while I built my business. Leah's parents exchanged uneasy glances. Her mother spoke softly. Sweetheart, maybe she has a point. Family helps family. Leah inhaled slowly. And family respects each other. That hasn't happened here in a long time. The air was thick with unsaid things, decades of comparison, of mockery disguised as love. Victoria leaned forward. You're being selfish. You could change our lives. Leah met her gaze. I already changed mine. That line landed like a thunderclap. The room felt too bright. Too still. Leah rose from her chair. For years, she said quietly, you've mocked me, my clothes, my car, my choices. You called me a failure because I didn't perform wealth the way you do. Now you find out I was building something real, and suddenly I'm the selfish one? Her father started to speak, but Leah held up a hand. Stop. For once, just listen. Victoria's mask cracked. You think money makes you better than us? Leah smiled sadly. No. I think discipline does. The chandelier flickered above them, crystal shadows dancing across marble. You laughed at the girl who made this happen, Leah continued, voice steady now. You don't get to claim her success now that it's convenient. Victoria's voice broke. You're making a mistake. Family is all you have. No, Leah said, opening the front door. Family is supposed to want you, even when you have nothing. Then she stepped outside, sunlight flooding her face, the first real breath she'd taken in years. Snowlight shimmered against the windowpane as Leah poured coffee into her chipped mug, her favorite, rescued from a thrift shop years ago. Her phone buzzed with messages, missed calls, apologies, half-hearted reconciliations. She didn't answer. The small office buzzed quietly behind her. Young women clustered around laptops, learning how to budget, how to invest, how to believe they could. Remember, Leah told them, you don't need approval to be valuable. They nodded, absorbing the lesson she'd learned the hard way. As the sun spilled over the Rockies, Leah looked out at the world, freer, lighter, whole. Sometimes revenge wasn't about proving anyone wrong. It was about living so fully, their words no longer mattered. She smiled. The blouse she wore today was another thrift find, soft, timeless, and priceless for what it represented. Freedom.